here's my question. We're going full speculation now. We're talking into the future. If this is not your cup of tea, just leave. Because a lot of Niner fans and Jimmy Garoppolo fans just feel like, you know what, can we just enjoy this? Can we not talk about the offseason? We don't even know what's going to happen next week. And that's a fair thing to say. This is just the kind of things that Vish and I like to talk about, theoretical stuff. So my question to Vish, this is the beginning of the conversation. Vish, if this is Jimmy Garoppolo the rest of the season, if this is if we get 2020 Jimmy and 2019 Jimmy doesn't come back, this is it for whatever reason. Ankle, supporting cast, offensive line, lack of confidence. If this is it, what is the future with him in San Francisco? Will he be the quarterback next year? And if you were the GM and you were assessing him, what would your move be? How would you move forward? If you wanted to move on, how would you even start that process?
Okay, so two things. One, on the fans, I know exactly how you guys feel. Like, as much as I like thinking about these things and talking privately about these things, I don't want to hear other people talking about these things. So I would definitely be upset if this was a conversation. I totally agree. It's not the most fair conversation, and there is still zero grounds or zero evidence that this is going to be the actual conversation. Like, correct. He has 8 games to prove this season, and he could go out and ball, and he could be the quarterback next year.
Still has only lost 7 games in his career,
right.
But the context here is that Jason LaCanfora, one of the biggest rumor guys in the NFL, came out with a report before the game yesterday saying, don't be surprised if Jimmy Garoppolo is in the Niners quarterback next year. It's like, yeah, bulletin. Like, someone just finally told Jason.
But that was something we all knew, right?
We all knew that.
It's a year-to-year evaluation with him.
Yeah.
I thought there was one thing that I actually haven't discussed with you that I thought was a little troubling when I read in the article, and was that according to LaCanfora, there was debate on the actual severity and the extent of his ankle injury within the organization. So that's always not, I'm not going to sit and speculate because I'm not in his body and I don't know the medical reports. I'm just saying that if there's debates about those kinds of things, I think that's a little more personal and that's a little more worrying.
It's personal. And remember what I told you a couple of weeks ago about what I heard about Jimmy in New England, that he got hurt and some of the teammates felt like, well, we kind of appreciated that Brissett gutted it out. I don't know if that's fair, but now you've heard it twice with Jimmy. Twice. A difference of opinion on how injured he was. And it may not be fair in either case. You know, Alex Smith was a victim of that early in his career. People being like, he's not that hurt. Like, right. Yeah, he is. So
Mike
I'm not going to
ruin his shoulder by questioning the
exactly.
man.
So I don't know. I'm just saying now it's popped up twice.
Like, look at what Alex Smith just came back from. Do you think there's a soul that would question the man's toughness now?
Right. So
and
I don't know.
Mike Nolan now with that pathetic defense in Dallas. Got to mention.
Oh, yeah, it's karma. He deserves that. For sure.
So I'm not going to get into that. I just read that line. I thought it was interesting. It's a little personal, that line, so it's something to just keep an eye on. Okay.
The other thing that was interesting in that report is how he says how Shanahan felt he doesn't necessarily need to spend $30 million a year at quarterback. That's the other thing that stuck out to me because I feel the same way.
Okay.
I feel that way.
Right. So that's also a fair statement. But that part of it was from a league source who's worked with Kyle Shanahan. So that's just someone who's a little more connected with Shanahan speculating.
Right. It could be Rich Angarello. It could be God knows. Yeah.
It's not something that you could go. So my big thing is, if I was in that position, no, I do not want to go the CJ Beathard, Nick Mullins route and just cut ties with Jimmy Garoppolo. That's not going to work. If I'm the GM, I'm going to be forking over money to Fred Warner as soon as this season ends. I'm going to be calling Fred Warner and his agent and getting that deal done. And if I have Fred Warner, I have George Kittle, I have Nick Bosa coming back from an injury, knock on wood. Hopefully he comes back healthy. I'm hoping he rehabs away from the 49ers facility because we've had some bad juju with all these ACLs and people coming back and all these setbacks. So Nick Bosa, go to your private doctor, rehab, get your ACL right, come back.
Don't trust these guys.
Or
get out of here. Go far away.
Medically terrific, but there's just a black cat going around with these ACLs in their recovery. Yeah. So there's that. And when you have these type of pillar players, you can't waste a season because the quarterback play is not even to Jimmy's standard, which is top 18, top 17 type quarterback play.
He's currently ranked 20th in QBR, which is not good enough. Yeah.
Right. I think are you talking about passer rating?
QBR.
Like ESPN's QBR stat?
Yeah.
Is he 20th?
I think he's 19th.
I think he's higher.
I think he's 19th. I looked this
You
morning.
said
Keep going. Keep going. I'll get it right now. I'll get it right
Yeah,
now.
okay. Okay, so that's not the way I want to go. To
Okay,
me, the ideal way would be to kind of just get a guy who matches Jimmy.
19. He's right below Teddy Bridgewater and right above Jared Goff.
Teddy Bridgewater is only 18th in QBR.
Hey, I don't know how much stock you put in QBR, but it's Rodgers 1, Mahomes 2, Allen 3, Tannehill 4, Carr 5, Breeze, Fitzpatrick, Wilson, Mayfield, Lamar Jackson, Prescott, Herbert, Ryan, Mayfield.
All right, 9. I'm out on.
Okay, fair enough. Let's get back on topic.
Okay, right. Let's get out. So I don't want to waste that season. I would like to match a guy who has a similar salary to Jimmy and try and put him on this roster and get a guy who's but just a better player than Jimmy. And he's one of my favorite quarterbacks in the NFL.
You got a name?
I brought him up so many times before.
Yeah.
He had an insane victory come from behind yesterday. Like, only he could have done. Man, maybe there's a few guys that could have done it, but I like to say only him because I really like him. But that's Matthew Stafford. That's who I would like to be the next quarterback of the 49ers if this doesn't happen. I do not want to go the Kirk Cousins route.
No, neither do I.
It's not just about it being like I don't like Kirk Cousins. It's also about the fact that he's more expensive than Jimmy, and you're getting a more expensive player for maybe 1 to 2 times in a vacuum a better player, but it's not enough where he's not $12 million or whatever X million dollars better than Jimmy Garoppolo. That's the thing.
Right.
And then Matt Ryan, Matt Ryan's obviously a better player than Jimmy Garoppolo, but he's 36. His arm has definitely lost something. It's not like Brady where his arm is still functional. Like Matt Ryan never had the arm stint that a guy like Brady had, and it's not the same. And I don't know if eating the kind of contract he has, because he doesn't even have the franchise quarterback. He has like the NBA Supermax type deal, like that Deshaun Watson, him, and a few other guys have. So I don't want that particular contract. Mm-hmm. So yeah, the only question with Matthew Stafford would be injury. But otherwise, for me, that's the guy I want to get, because besides Detroit, which I think they should just eat that dead cap, like you've made that guy suffer. Let him go to Kyle Shanahan, eat the dead money, and let us Niners fans prosper. Let him prosper. Let Kyle Shanahan prosper, and give us Matthew Stafford.
And again, we're not saying the Niners should move off Jimmy Garoppolo. We're doing the kind of theoretical conversation that John Lynch does. You have to think 8 moves ahead and what you would do. We're trying to think like general managers now because we're that smart, and we're going to be general managers one day. So look, I'm going to disagree with you, and I'm going to give my reasons. I love Matthew Stafford. I think he would be more worth the money than Jimmy Garoppolo, but I have a difference of opinion on the philosophy of adding quarterbacks. And I'm looking at Matthew Stafford right here. Even though he's more worth the money, in my opinion, than Jimmy Garoppolo, his cap number in 2021 is $33 million. And if the cap comes down to 175, I could be wrong. I think he would be about 17% of the cap. I believe that no player in the league should get more than 13%. So I'm going to stick to my philosophy and say, what's that? Am I wrong?
I think no. I think you're right, but I think there's details where if like the Lions trade him, there might be like they have to eat some of it and all.
Okay,
I do know that he's a plausible option. I know that.
Fair enough.
I don't know all the details, so don't.
Okay. No, I'm not going to say it's not a plausible. It is a plausible option for sure.